What's up, everybody? As always, like and subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for your support. I'm going to jump right into what I think the main topic of this video should be, which is people have chased government contracts so much that the market became saturated. And, you know, there was a lot of people, like, at this point, I won't even touch, like, masks, like, you know, N95 or KN95. I won't even touch that as something that I look for a client. But the thing I'll say is this. Because the market became so saturated, you had to think outside the box to actually earn a living. And private clients was always my primary target because I made the most money with private clients. Puerto Rico was a private client. This was, you know, working now as private clients. In order to make it pop, you got to go the old-fashioned way and cold call, and there's no way around it. You know, like what's popping now with me is a result of work that I was doing when the pandemic first started, in terms of calling people, reaching out to folks. When I say cold calling, I don't necessarily mean to call somebody that you don't know and try to solicit them into, you know, your PPE sales, although you should do that too. I'm speaking more on people that you know that might be in that field or industry. Like when the pandemic first started, I reached out to everybody that I knew was in the medical field, everybody that I knew was in the education field, anything where the public was involved. Like I knew when the schools first shut down, I knew that that was going to be an issue. And I didn't know if the government was going to pay for all of the schools, but I knew that they wouldn't pay for, like, you know, maybe between all the colleges in the country and private schools in the country. I knew the government wasn't paying for all of that. So, you know, those individuals have to go out and seek their own PPE so that they can get their kids back into their schools or to get, you know, their businesses open. And if you know logistics, you can fill the space of getting them their items, getting them their line items. And that's the space that Apex has always been in. I've never not been in logistics. Like logistics has been me for what, 16, 17 years now. And excuse me, logistics is life. Like seriously, I stand by that statement. Because you can order all you want to, right? You can order all the supplies you want to. But if you don't know how to get them there, then you still are at a point. And that's what happened to a lot of these dudes that tried to start companies, like right during the pandemic as it started. They can go acquire, you can make connects with anybody. But if you don't know how to move it, you still stuck because you're going to be calling people and they going to gouge you. So logistics is the space that you want to operate in if you are trying to really do anything, whether it be just to procure. If you just want to procure and that's your talent, then, or that's your strong point, then you need to find somebody that's in logistics and bring them in to help you. Because that way, you know, that you need that expertise in your arsenal if you are a logistics person already. But helping people get the things that they need puts you in a space of being in procurement and being in, you know, using the talent of logistics. So you cover everything, you know, and the thing that has gotten me through is going back to what originally got me started and just, you know, going back to the basics, which was, you know, again, I say cold calling, but not cold calling in the sense of just, you know, some random person, but calling people that I know and saying, hey, I'm out here. Hey, I'm out here. I could do this. Somebody's gonna want your services, but you have to deliver on those services. Those services have to be efficient and official. So you're gonna get those one or two people that are going to accept your services if you are providing a logistics service. At that point, you need to know how to deal with boats. You need to know how to deal with airplanes. You need to know how to deal with trucks. If you already got the trucks part, you need to learn the other two. Will it be at the highest level at first? Probably not, because they want to see if you can do what it is that you say you can do. So if someone gives you, let's say, $75,000, right? Now you go to a website that you can go to and procure the item, right? You still got to get it over here, so keep that in there. So you build your quote to the client based on all your effort and all of what's going to go into it, and you bill accordingly. Now, some people aren't going to buy bulk. A lot of people came out of the gate saying, we want you to buy a million masks, initially. If nobody knows who you are, they're not going to give you, when the pandemic first started, there was desperation, but that desperation shit is over. You know what I mean? It's kind of, everything is cooled out now. So people have figured out where to be able to move to get what it is that they need. So, to because I lost my thought here, to double back, the basics is what got me back up to this point. And it's a process. It's a process and a relationship building thing. I know what I was talking about. Because when these folks give you this money, right, they want to see if you can do what it is. Because you got to realize some organizations, some universities, whatever, are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do everything for the school. You're just a small piece of what it is that they're spending. So if they give you this little piece of money and say, hey, go get me some eye goggles, right? And you take that money, but then you can't deliver, and I'm serious. It takes dedication, and a lot of your time goes into this. I'm going to tell you a story. It's so much that I'm going to try to break it up over several videos, but it's a story I'm going to tell you. But, it's a lot of time and effort to do all of this stuff, and you have to be committed. You have to deliver. Your operation needs to run like UPS or FedEx. Like seriously, your small operation has to run like UPS or FedEx in order to get the trust of, the client, and to, like, I give my thing is transparency. I try to give full transparency to my clients. You know what I mean? As soon as the tracking numbers, the container numbers come through, I give it all to the client so they can go look up their own stuff. You can find it yourself. I don't even want you to, here, look it up yourself. And that builds a rapport with the client. And it'll put you in a position. I've made mistakes. Let me see. When you get a budget and you're coming from the ground floor, you need to make sure your finance person is on point. That's the biggest thing I can give as advice. Always make sure whoever's handling the financials is on point. But anyway, once these places have that trust in you, they'll give you the big numbers, and they'll know that you can do the job. Here's the story. I called a truck driver, and I needed him to be in California on Friday, right? And we had a previous run that we had done together, and I called him like 2 nights before the run was supposed to go, and he was like, I can't get there till, whatever date. And then you talking about traveling, and is it intercontinental, coast to coast or whatever. And so I said, all right, cool. And I set it up for him to, get the later appointment. Well, on this last one, it was deadlines involved. Like, it was straight up deadlines involved. Like, people higher ups at this client's, the client's place of business knew that stuff was supposed to be there on Tuesday. I forgot what date it was, but it was a couple weeks back. It was supposed to be there on Tuesday, and they knew that. So no matter what happened, I needed to make sure that freight cleared. That was the sense of urgency put on me. So I called this dude on Sunday, told him to be out there Friday. And he was like, all right, cool. Fast forward to Tuesday night, I get a phone call from the driver. The driver says, my truck is in the shop. I'm thinking, we both thinking you got to be out to, LA by Friday. And I was like, at that point, he didn't know the emphasis on the deadline, I don't think. But I let him know, like, this has to move. This freight has to move. Like, this freight has to move. So because of the position that we were in, I flew out to LA. I posted some pictures of it. I flew out to LA and got the freight off the dock, put it in a Penske truck, locked it up, sat on the freight for like 2-3 days. I was watching it, babysitting. I ain't sleep for like 2 days. I'm watching this freight. And, I was sending pictures to the client and let them know that the freight was going to make it. Then the driver gets out there on Sunday, 12 p.m., West Coast time. We swap trucks. Like I said, I think all this stuff is on the Contract Fortune Instagram page. Make sure you check out the Contract Fortune Instagram page. We back the trucks up. I take the freight off because I didn't want the driver to do any work because I knew he had to get back on the road to drive. So I loaded the freight, got his truck loaded, and then he got out of there, delivered on Tuesday. So your operation has to function in your mind and in your heart like you are UPS. All right? And that's the only way that your operation can continually grow, because clients know that you'll go balls to the wall to make sure that their freight is secure and will get to them. And nevertheless, the driver got it there. Me and him had a good discussion. Everybody's on the same page because I'm trying to put pieces into position, because this is going to go on for about another year. I say year and a half. I want to be in a position where I can have the truck already available, to a point where I can call it my truck. Like, my truck is more like the being able to have a partner. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna buy some trucks too. I think I'm gonna buy some trucks again, but that's another video. But being able to have a partner in terms of trucking and logistics is critical. You're gonna need one of them, because you don't want to run through other people's stuff all the time. You're gonna want to run through stuff that's in-house. So that's important too. But it's gonna go on for about another year or two. And if you are trying to get into this business, then I highly recommend you start now, laying the foundation. I said it way back in the beginning when it first started, to set your moves up. And I don't know. I know at the time people couldn't really grasp what was going on in terms of the pandemic or where they were going to fall. It's still kind of a scary thing, man. It's scary times when you're in, like, seriously. Yeah. So stop chasing government contracts. Stop chasing government contracts. I can't tell you that. I tell you that over and over. And stop chasing government contracts, because the government will pay, but everybody's chasing that carrot. While everybody's chasing that carrot, you need to be chasing what's over here. I keep telling people that. Like, I've showed it like 2-3 times already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've shown it 2 or 3 times already. Like, while they're doing that, you go do that. And, it's not to say that it's not a bumpy trip, because I went through some stuff. I can't say I didn't go through. I went through 8 months of really bad times, because, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. But perseverance and dedication and a good support system. My support system was unmatched. Is what put all this back together. And now it's just trying to hold it together. I think a few moves, like major moves, are going to be made business-wise here over the next couple months. Get back to subscribing to the Contract Fortune page. I know I haven't put up content on this YouTube page in a minute, but I'm about to start doing it repetitively. You got my word on that. Subscribe to the Contract Fortune Instagram page too. I just had to. I'm the type of person where I gotta take a minute and put it all back together away from everybody. Like, I gotta work. Like, I'm like a mad scientist. I gotta be in the laboratory dolo. You know what I mean? In order to make it work sometimes. And it's just prayers, using the talent that I got, and you know, the Father upstairs making sure that, you know, things go that way. And I think my mom got a hand in it too. But I'm grateful. I'm blessed, and the knowledge that I have, I'm more than willing to share it. More than willing to share it. I'm going to start teaching the class again. And it's still webinars up on, you know, the Contract Fortune website page. Like it's still Contract Fortune. I haven't lost sight of that. I just had to go over here real quick to get all the bills paid. And so now I can focus on this again. So anyway, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's going to be more content put up on the channel now. And I hope everybody is well. I hope your families are well. And just stay safe. I'll holler at you.